Hi, I'm Aria, and I'm an international superstar. Please like and subscribe. My mom was a super successful philanthropist who ran charities and traveled the world building schools and setting up food banks for small villages. Life with Mom was great, and every evening after dinner, we would pump up our karaoke set and sing for hours. Mom sounded like a sick squirrel, but it didn't matter. We had so much fun. Aria, your voice is amazing. You really have a gift. Have you ever thought about being a singer? I'm not that good, Mom. Besides, I was hoping to run a charity like you one day so I can help people in need. Who says you can't do both? But I grew up to be a really shy kid, and no matter how good I was, singing in front of people was just not my thing. Anytime I even tried, it ended up being a major disaster. Like the time I threw up on the piano guy on stage. I was known as Barf Girl for years. Mom eventually gave up on the idea of me singing professionally, but I was a pretty good student and loved literature, and things were fine. But then I turned 18 and everything changed. Mom left for one of her work trips, and a few days later, she was reported missing. While the search team still looked for her, I was sent to live with my mom's older sister, Cheryl. I'd never met my aunt before, but I knew she had a daughter my age, Zoe, and that she never got along with my mom. And I kind of figured out why the first time I met my aunt outside her mansion. She saw me and hugged me tight. Oh, my sweet girl, you must be devastated. My sister and I didn't talk much, but she's still my blood, and I can't believe she's gone. Thanks, Aunt Cheryl, but Mom's just missing, not dead. We have search teams looking for her, and I'm sure she'll be back in no time. Of course, sweetheart. Whatever makes you feel better. Zoe, why don't you sing for your cousin? Oh, sure, Mom. We have a cousin who's gonna live free. Her mom's gone missing, and she's got no money. Wait, Aria, why are you making faces? Didn't you like my song? No, it's great. You were just off-key. Nothing a little practice can't cure. And you have a very ugly face, which nothing can cure. In fact, we should put it back on your head so it's hidden at all times. Zoe, stop being so mean. It's not Aria's fault that she's not as pretty or special as you. Now, Aria, I've made your sleeping arrangements in the attic. Also, you'll start work at 5 a.m., go to school, then you'll race home and start a second shift that ends at midnight. I'm working shifts? Why? I thought a little work could keep you distracted. You'll be Zoe's assistant. Surely you don't mind, do you? I stared at my aunt, dumbfounded, hoping she was joking, but she wasn't. And the next day, I was the official errand girl for Zoe. For the entire next month, I was stuck doing her homework, washing her clothes, bringing her coffee, and hearing her god-awful voice. Aunt was really obsessed with making Zoe a pop star. She'd spend all of her money on coaches, dance teachers, and stylists. But no matter how much Zoe trained, she wasn't very good. La 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 la. She's wonderful. We need to get her on stage, like ASAP.
I don't think she's ready.
How about now?
She's hired.
Aunt Cheryl and Zoe were horrible, and even though I felt stuck in this house of morons, I decided to keep my head down and wait for Mom. The search and rescue mission was still on, and I was sure I'd have some information soon. All I had to do was remain patient. But then one day, I walked into my room and saw all my dresses on the floor, and Zoe stood in a corner prancing around with a red dress, which belonged to my mom. It was the only thing I'd carried of hers and was saving it for my graduation. What do you think you're doing? Give my dress back. Why? It looks so much better on me. Where are you gonna wear it anyway, errand girl? In case you haven't noticed, you're pretty much stuck in this house as my servant. That dress belongs to my mother, and I'd rather eat dog poop than let you wear it. Besides, it doesn't even fit you properly, fatso. You did not just call me that. Actually, I did. F-A-T. Fatter? Fattest. Zoe looked at me like a wildcat, and then she just started screaming. I tried to calm her down, but she went crazy and started ripping the dress apart. Just then, Aunt came running, and Zoe started complaining to her how I'd insulted her and called her fat. Look what you did. You've upset Zoe. She has a photo shoot tomorrow, and now her face will be all puffy from crying. Are you trying to ruin her career? What career? She sings like a freaking toad. You pay people to hire her. Shut up. I took you in my house, gave you food, clothes, and this is how you repay me? You're so selfish, just like your mom. If you can't behave yourself, I'll send you to an orphanage. Do you understand? Loud and clear, Cruella. Aunt stormed off angrily, and Zoe followed her, while I just sat down with the tattered pieces of Mom's dress and wailed like a baby. That day, I decided to just not talk to anyone and stay out of trouble, but life had other plans. A week later, I was sitting backstage for one of Zoe's rehearsals, reading a magazine, when Emmett sat next to me. He was Zoe's dreamboat of a boyfriend and one of the hottest teen models of our age.
I hate this.
Yeah, she sings like a broken record. I mean, she could be better, but
Haha, she's not that bad. And I was talking about the cover of this magazine. I hated posing for this photo shoot. It's just so sad that all that people see is my cute face.
well, you are a model.
I'm an actor too, and I'm planning to study philosophy in college. I bet no one knows that.
I was surprised, but this was the first time Emmett and I had a chance to speak. We spent the next hour talking about books and hobbies, and it felt great to have a good conversation after so long. Emmett was a nice guy, but Zoe treated him like trash, bossing him around like he was her butler. This one time, Emmett came to pick Zoe up for dinner, and she made him wait 2 hours straight. Quick, red or white, you're not ready yet? Emmett's been waiting for like an eternity. So, he's lucky to be dating a goddess like me. Now stop acting like Mother Teresa and pick one. Oh, forget it. You have the fashion sense of a homeless person. Zoe trotted away, making Emmett wait for another hour and then canceled the date. Emmett was on his way out when I caught up to him. Are you okay?
I'll be fine. You must be wondering I'm such a loser, right? Zoe treats me like trash and I'm still here for some reason. But she wasn't always like this. Zoe supported me a lot when my parents got divorced. She was my best friend, but then she got famous and things changed.
But she's really annoying. And well, you're kind of perfect. I mean, you have a perfect face, like a model's perfect face. You know, like the perfect proportions of a face. That kind of perfect face. I'm not saying you're perfect for me. Sorry, I'm babbling.
It's cute. Anyway, I have a shoot, so I'll see you around.
Emmett winked and left, and my heart skipped like 1,000 beats. He was so amazing, and the only guy who'd been nice to me since Mom left. I felt happy around Emmett, and soon I developed a massive crush on him. But I knew I couldn't act on it, so I let my feelings slide and focused on my work. Zoe was recording a jingle for a hot dog company, and there were a lot of things to take care of, like makeup and costumes. On the main day, we were at the recording studio, and everyone was excited until Zoe started throwing tantrums. Hot dog, it's not a real dog. What is this nonsense? I don't like these lyrics. Change it. And what's wrong with the air conditioning? My butt's sweating. Get me lemonade?
You can't get anything inside the recording studio.
I can? And I will! The producer refused, and Zoe kept screaming. Aunt tried to calm her down, but she didn't give a hoot, and we were all asked to leave. And the next morning, Aunt told us that Zoe had lost the contract. What is wrong with you, Zoe? I paid a lot of money to get you that contract. Are you mocking me? How dare you? Something's wrong with my voice. Aunt panicked and rushed Zoe to the hospital. The doctors did a quick test, and we found out that Zoe had screamed so much from the previous day that she damaged her vocal cords and lost her voice. The only way out was surgery and spending several months in recovery. Aunt cried, Zoe fainted, and it was a mess. The next few days were no good either. Zoe refused to talk to anyone, including Emmett. He even brought her flowers, but she smashed them over his head and slammed the door in his face. Then one day, I was doing some errands, humming as always, when someone spoke near me.
That was beautiful. Aria, you should be on stage.
Me? Yeah. I sing because I like it.
I think you can be a superstar, maybe even bigger than Zoe.
What? Emmett and I turned around and saw Zoe staring at us.
I didn't mean it like that. I was just admiring Aria's.
Me, shut up. I'm going through the worst phase of my life, and you're flirting with my cousin. That's it. We're through. You're just a weirdo anyway. I mean, who likes books? I do. Of course you do, because you're as boring as him. Maybe your mother's not lost. Maybe she left you because you bored her to death. You're crossing a line, Zoe. You're the one crossing a line. You're so far off the line. The line is a dot to you, morons. Zoe stormed off, and I turned to face Emmett. I'm sorry. I never meant to come between you two.
It's not the worst thing in the world. And I kind of saw it coming.
Emmett gave me a sweet smile before leaving, and I couldn't stop thinking about him all night. Now that he and Zoe had broken up, maybe I could confess my feelings for him. But I never got the chance, because after that day, things just got crazier. Turns out, Aunt heard me sing too, and she wanted me to take Zoe's place in her upcoming tour. You want me to sing in front of thousands of people? Technically, I want you to sing while Zoe performs on stage. You have a good voice, but you don't have that wow factor for a successful performer. That makes it less complicated. Anyway, it's a bad idea. Please, Aria. I've already taken an advance on the tour, and if we don't follow through, organizers will sue me. I didn't want to do it, but Aunt was was practically begging, so I agreed, and the next day, I started practicing with Zoe. Before we knew it, the day of the tour arrived. Every night, I hid backstage while Zoe performed under the spotlight. The tour was a success, and by the end of it, Zoe had become a huge sensation. She was signing record deals, doing advertisements, and people couldn't get enough of her. But the more people praised her, the angrier she got. How does it feel to be a star from nothing? Not nothing. I did a bunch of shows before I went on that tour. Yeah, no one's interested in that. Just tell us your secret. Sure. Zoe got up and threw a glass of water in the reporter's face before leaving. Clip from the interview went viral, and she got a lot of hate on social media. Aunt tried to calm down the situation by paying off people to take the video down, but the damage was done.
This is a nightmare. Why did you have to assault that reporter, Zoe?
She was annoying me, and she kept saying that my voice is better now. Like I'm not good enough on my own?
What does it matter? Everyone loves you.
No, they love me with Arya's voice. I'm so tired of Arya taking everything from me. First, she took away Emmett, and now she's after my fame. I'm not after anything. In fact, if I didn't sit backstage singing like an invisible elf, you wouldn't be here at all. It's not my fault if I sing better than you do.
You're not better than my daughter. I was right about you. You're just like your mother.
Why do you keep bringing up my mom every time? What did she ever do to you?
She made my life miserable. Our parents loved her. My mother once said that your mom was the daughter she never had. I was the older child, but I wasn't enough. Your mom always tried to show people how she was oh so kind. Next to her, I was always ordinary. And now you're here, trying to do the same thing with my daughter, but I won't let you.
My mom is kind. She is amazing, and she's the best mother ever. But look at you. Mom's not even here, and you're still threatened by her. So maybe it wasn't Mom, but it was you, Aunt Cheryl. You and your stupid insecurities.
How dare you?
Before Aunt could get another word out, I just walked out of the house and took a cab. I needed someone to talk to, so I called Emmett on the way and asked him if we could meet at the cafe. He agreed, and I just ended up telling him everything.
Why did you say yes?
I couldn't back out on Aunt Cheryl. As much as I hate her, she did support me after Mom disappeared, but now I feel trapped, and I'm tired of singing in the shadows.
Then get on that stage and own your truth.
What if the audience hates me?
You won't know if you don't try, right? And I'm here for you.
Emmett gently squeezed my hands, and I felt confident enough to take over the world. He was right. I had to own my truth rather than crying about my situation. So the next day, while Zoe got her makeup done for her performance, I went on stage and confessed everything. Zoe is my cousin, and I've been singing in her place. Zoe came running and snatched the mic from my hand. She's lying! Oh yeah? Then let me prove it. I started singing without any music and gave the best performance of my life. I was nervous, but I closed my eyes and pictured my mom, and all my fear melted away. Once I was done, the crowd erupted in applause. Zoe and Aunt Cheryl were in shock, but I just dropped my mic, turned around, and left. The clip of my performance went viral, and everyone called Zoe a cheat and a fraud, which she totally deserved. I never met Aunt and Zoe again, but thanks to my little stint at Zoe's concert, I quickly got noticed and a huge record label signed me on. It was difficult to sing confidently at first, but Emmett encouraged me and I did well. Then one day, Emmett and I were headed back home, and when we got there, we saw a bunch of police vehicles lined up. I rushed inside and saw Mom waiting for me. I ran and threw my arms around her. Mom, I missed you. Where were you?
My boat crashed while traveling, and I was stranded on an island, my love. The villagers on the island rescued me, but I had no memory of who I was. Slowly, I recovered and gave them your name, and here I am. You don't know how happy I am to see you.
Me too, Mom, and I have so much to tell you. But before that, meet Emmett, my boyfriend. Mom smiled, and I just knew things would be A-okay.